Yeah. One West. Yeah, easy. I'm sorry. Me need a break. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We work hard in a life, hustle every day and all in a night. Man a hunt for the goal and a dig it in a road and a live my life. I'm sorry, me need a break, I'm sorry. Right now me a seek time for myself and we a shell down some party. Me stressed, me a look for a recess. For me brain me a refresh. This a game me a reset. Move to the girl inna the beach dress. The body a roll a she a the neatest. She nah no man, nah that a the weakness. So me the in her ears but not like a real pest. Nah, just a move with a vibe. Because we a pour the mood is alive. If you do 9 to 5 I know you a get rich, you do realize. I'm sorry, me need a break, I'm sorry. Right now we a pour kulu rump on Tennessee with Campari. That is it. Move to that girl, let the body tick. What is it? You know see me attack loud the politics. Watch it twist. No one see no ratchet flick, no matic clip. No negative energy, a positive. One way I keep the peace and no magic trick. We a dance till the night gone. We a groove, we a vibe. And no care, no fear right off. Make it on with your life. Me say, me no want see you leave yet. Me no want see you depressed. We a party for de-stress. We work hard in a life, hustle every day and all in a night. Man a hunt for the goal and I mash up the road and I live no life. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Me stressed. Me a look for a recess. For me brain me a refresh. This a game me a reset. Move to the girl inna the peach dress. The body a roll a she a the neatest. She nah no man so that a the weakness. So me the inna it here that a no real test. Nah. All right, clap it up, clap it up. Welcome again to another ISUPK, you know what I mean? Breakdown podcast. Hold on 1 second, change background. Clap it up. Welcome again to another Breakdown podcast where we break down the strongholds holding back the children of Israel here in Jamaica, North, Central, and South America. You know what I mean? Jamaica, the Caribbean, North, Central, and South America. You know what I mean? I'm here with Officer of 1,000, you know what I mean, Abadawan. All right, I'm not sure if I'm ready yet. And you know what I mean, of course, Cap Sue come in, captain of 13,000. Nayatak Sue forward in, Zin. And myself, Officer 500, Kayad one out of ISUPK Jamaica. You know what I mean? ISUPK, by the way, is, you know what I mean, the home of the truth. You know what I mean? 125th Street, Harlem, New York, 1969. ISUPK is run by Commanding General Yana, the one man with the rank and the authority to lead Israel today. See, as we come in on the show, I'm just tap up the screen. We're going to talk about the Christian church tonight. See, of course, you have a politician called Warmington. I forgot his name, his first name, but Warmington. See, that has been speaking out against the Christian church lately. You know what I mean? Well, Moody says speaking out against the Christian church, but for the most part, sir, I got think that when you're ready, just add yourself to the live, yeah. It seems like you're not ready yet. See? So for the most part, it's in my complain about the church needing assistance from the government. You know, Jamaica have a thing what we call the housing trust, where everybody who work a 9 to 5 have to throw a housing trust. See? So, but the church, them don't throw a housing trust. You know what I mean? But the housing trust, them I get ready, you know what I mean, are at the time of the video when I go play, they were getting ready to provide loans towards the Christian church. You know what I mean? Even though they don't throw housing trust. And the problem about it is people who do not throw housing trust, they are not qualified for the loan, even though Hurricane Melissa, you know what I mean, basically destroyed everybody else, and you know what I mean, everybody living situation. So both chewers of housing trusts and non-chewers of housing trusts, you know what I mean, was affected by Hurricane Melissa. You know what I mean? And both chewers of housing trusts and non-chewers of housing trusts need the loan, need the assistance. But housing trust is saying that only the people who are throwing housing trusts are qualified for that loan. But they must say the Christian church, I'm going to make an exemption for. And Mr. Warmington, big up to Mr. Warmington. Normally, we don't big up politicians on the platform. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, the ISUPK, we don't believe in politics. You understand? We teach our people that voting do not help our situation. You know what I mean? So none of the political parties, we are not politically affiliated in any kind of way. But this politician is saying something that, you know what I mean, sounds like is looking out for the best interests of the people. So without further ado, what we're going to do, we're going to play the tape. You know what I mean? As I say, captain of 13,000 night attack, he might go forward in soon. Officer Abadawan, he might get himself ready as well. You know what I mean? Remember to like, share, follow, subscribe, depending on the platform you're watching on. And we can't emphasize it enough. Remember to share, you know what I mean, and interact with us. You understand? Put your comments in the chat. If you disagree with what we are saying, put it in the chat. If you agree with what we are saying, just put it in the chat. You understand? And remember to click the subscribe button over YouTube. See?
You want to follow,
Yeah.
Mr. Warmington?
Yeah, Mr. Miller mentioned the issue that only contributors can apply for assistance for reconstruction and development as such, the hurricane damage. You're saying only contributors?
Or their immediate families?
Contributors or the immediate. Then I'm curious then. The church is not a contributor. So on what basis, or would you assess their application for loans and understand they're supposed to apply to housing trust for loans? And if they are not contributors, how do you assess them and approve such application when you are telling us now that only contributors can apply? In what category? How do you assess that? And they're not contributors?
Mr. Chairman, for many years now, we have operated what we refer to as an institutional loan.
No. Mr. Miller, watch me. I'm not asking about what happens over the years. I ask a simple question in a relationship. If the churches are not contributors and housing trust was established to assist contributors.
Of course, Officer Abadawan would have been more knowledgeable than me on this. But they must say over the years, they would have, you know what I mean, have a thing with them called institutional loan. Based on my interpretation of that, it would have mean say institutions would over the years be qualified for a loan. Whether or not institutions contribute to the housing trust. That's what me are thinking about. I could be wrong, but let's continue playing the tape.
And you are saying only contributors are qualified to apply. I'm not interested in institutional loans that have been done over the years. I'm asking how do you provide for them? They are not contributors when you just say contributors provided for.
Officer Abadawa,
I
when
am
you ready
not
to add
aware,
yourself to the
Mr. Chairman,
the law.
of the specific case that the member is referring to. What we have in place is a facility that will allow, so you have churches that are member of a larger umbrella. So, for example, take the Baptists. So the Baptists could apply for a loan, provide us with the necessary security. As we all know, they own a lot of land. We have found in the past.
No, I'm not clear. Is that for residential development you're talking about, where they're acting as developers, or are it's for the church's own facilities? I think Mr. Warmington wants to know.
Yes.
In what capacity is the church benefiting if they are not a contributor and NHG was set up to serve contributors?
It is not correct to say the church is not a contributor.
No. Just a minute. Point of order, correction. Can you provide evidence in this to this meeting that churches have been contributing to housing trust? How church going to contribute to housing trust? My brother, hold on. Mr. Miller. How can a church contribute? The church has never contributed a dime. What social security TRN they use?
Mr. Chairman.
No, what TRN they use to make that contribution? They don't.
Mr. Chairman.
Period. No, they don't. Please, Mr. Miller. The issue, you said that you don't know what specific I'm talking about. An announcement was just made last week. The provisions are made for them to get concessional loan from you. And their contributors who have applied to housing trust cannot get loans because they don't have enough points. They don't have enough points, so they can't get it. So how do you find the points for the church? How do you arrive at that? I don't want you about institution and, umbrella church or Baptist or what have you.
So not only do non-contributors, talking about regular citizens, don't apply for the loan, but some contributors do qualify for the loan, I mean. See? They don't qualify for the loan neither because them don't have enough points. You understand? So, but the church get an exemption. You know what I mean? Automatically the church get an exemption because the church need aid now, the roof gone. You know what I mean? Some long time olden days church, them concrete structure get this, not them concrete, but them stone wall structure get destroyed. Now them need taxpayers' money to help them fix them church. I continue playing the team. Feel free to jump in when you're ready here, Officer Abadawa.
I don't, because I'm saying the church can apply for loans based on their financial status, because the last report showed that.
Slakia, you say something, sir?
I'm going to play it on, play over me here.
Go on, Con.
The churches have more than $2 billion in account, and they have vast acreage of lands. They can apply against that. And don't dip into what you have that is there for contributors. You have one church in Spanish Town, the Philippa Baptist Church. The last financial report showed they have more than $70 million in their account. One single Baptist church in Spanish Town, Philippa Baptist Church. So what I'm saying, you have poor contributors applying to you, they can't get it, but then the church just walk in over there and get it. I'm saying that what needs to be done now, your board needs to change the rule that every contributor should be able to walk through the doors of housing trust to apply for a loan without any assessment of qualification if the church can do without being qualified, based on the record that you now have. So the point system must be eliminated now to justify what you're doing.
Mr. Chairman, can I respond?
Yes, you can respond.
If we were to look at the facilities that are in place to treat with this initiative.
Shalom, Cap.
Shalom, warriors. See you again at the end.
Go on, Con.
Go ahead.
Yeah, man.
Hey, shalom,
As
warriors.
it relates. to Melissa recovery. One of the first things that was made clear is that there are certain contribution requirements that would be relaxed for the individual. So, for example, one requirement is that your contribution ought to be current. It was made clear, and it was
your contribution ought to be
current. Meaning,
current.
Yes.
Okay.
It was made clear that that would be relaxed. So then we get back to the whole issue. Once you're a NHT contributor, you are qualified for a loan. The issue that we tend to miss is the amount of loan that you are qualified for. It may not necessarily be sufficient to do what you want to do. But any contributor who walks into NHT now, they are qualified for a loan. The only question is the amount. Any contributor.
So basically, we must say anybody who contribute, any individual who contribute to the NHT recently qualify for a loan, but a non-contributor like the Christian Church automatically qualify. You know what I mean? But somebody who don't, individual who don't contribute to the NHT like a vendor, you know what I mean? The man who push the handcart and them people, them don't qualify for no assistance. You understand? So, Slakia,
well,
you say something?
No. Go ahead up on that one.
He mentioned one church. He mentioned one church that have about some 70 million in their bank account. $1,000 US. But that is what I know. That is what I know the churches really do. I know them sitting on a mountain of cash. But I don't know. It look like them selfish, you know. Because I remember a couple of years ago when the government, all right, remember Lotto, the first thing that when Lotto just come in Jamaica, they were trying before that to put in Lotto and to put in the slot machines. What do they call them again?
What machine you talking about?
In America,
the one that were there in a bar, sir?
Like in Maryland, like. No, man, not the one in bar, man. The other ones, them.
Okay.
You call them places again, them.
You talk about casinos. Them casinos.
Casinos, right. And the church and NCB stepped forward and said they would hold the money, they would be the main bank for Lotto and the casinos. And the churches state that if NCB do it, they are going to pull their money from NCB. And NCB had to back off because that's how powerful they were with their money.
Wow.
So I would like to know what happened over the years now where to their members, you know. But this is the thing. It's the white man at the head of all these churches.
Right.
That's the reality.
Yeah.
The reality is he is heartless. So he probably tell them, say, no, we're not lending no money to the members. And we're not going to give you any extra money to fix the church. The members are supposed to fix the church. That is one way to look at it. Another way is with the government killing almost 17 young men killed by the police in 8 days. That was the case. That was all the statistics of Kaiwan.
Yeah, Kaiwan Council.
Silent. So, you know, they have two things to pay the church right now. Be silent on that and with the LGBT thing.
So
Right.
they are trying desperately to make the church their friends, but the church is gonna simply just get more corrupt because now they can't be the watchman for the people. They're gonna have to keep quiet when they see the trouble coming, and they cannot blow in a shell. They are not NHT contributors, and everybody know that.
Mm-hmm.
Warmington is the only one in government who is being vocal about it. Yes, he is the chairman of the board. The what you call it, the standing committee, subcommittee of parliament, but that wouldn't stop the other MPs and so on from speaking, because the church can go to the bank and borrow money,
Right.
just that they're not going to get the cheap money that NHT would give them. So it's not like say NHT can give the church and then they run out of money and don't have anything to give its members. NHT is rich, but principle is principle. You have turned on a lot of poor persons because they don't qualify.
God.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden you're going to tell us now that church is going to get the church can go to the bank, but guess what? It's the same members then who have to pay it back.
And
It's a
Slack,
sticky situation. You know, that is BL. So BL operate on.
sir, if I may, we have a next
You're
video
saying
where
something?
he made the point there. Warmington, he made the same point there. He must say, look how much money the church have. You know what I mean? Why them not able to can deal with them own affairs? This video we may have queue up right now.
So
We
this is
can
about
play it.
the second or third time now. Warmington have to be questioning his own government, you know.
Yeah,
There was
we see
one
him do
which
it
some
after
ruling.
recently.
Yeah. Then it make you wonder, is he the dunce one in the House of Parliament? I doubt that. But
Right.
why is it that they have to be always so vocal while the others so quiet? Is that the others are just daft, or are they yes men? Or they don't really business because them getting too fat in their pocket.
Yep.
What's the case? What is the case? Why is it that he's always him have to be screaming out for the people?
Oh, God.
It was a highly controversial politician, not in terms of improprieties or anything like that, but mannerism. No manners when him ready.
Right.
But it was the only one in there who most time him try to his actions try to look out for the people. And of course that sidelined him many times. But that's why I mean war Minton. Because I'm on a war. But what him doing now is good. I mean, I like it. Bring it out, man.
Yeah. Hell
out.
yeah.
Corruption and don't squeeze out.
That's right. I mean, go, give me Jeremiah. Go to Jeremiah 7.
Gun.
Go to Jeremiah 7. And I think 2. Let me see. Yeah, you can start at 2.
Gun.
Right.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 7 and verse 2. Stand in the gate of the Lord's house and proclaim there this word and say, Hear the word of the Lord, all ye of Judah, that enter in at the gates to worship the Lord.
Right? Listen, he telling you what? Jeremiah in verse 1, it telling the word came to Jeremiah. And he's telling you to do what? To listen.
Right.
Hear this, Israel. You know what I mean? Hear this, Benjamin. Hear this, Judah. Hear this, 12 tribes. Read on.
Verse 3, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, amend your ways and your doings, and I will cause you to dwell in this place.
Right. And what place he was telling you about? He's telling you where you're living. You understand? Like, amend your ways. We're going to have to change our ways. You understand? Right. The Christian church done turn the so-called house of God into a den of thieves. You understand? So now you going in there, you think you're paying your tithes. You understand? He is robbing the Lord. And we will get that in Luke, I think it's in Luke 16. You understand? These pastors are robbing the Lord. You understand?
Right.
All that tithes was becoming to Commander Junior Hanna. So he could get properly distributed to this nation, to what everybody need. We shouldn't have to go to no other nation for what we need. You understand? But the church, even though people are suffering, and I know Jamaicans, just like Trinidadians too, just like brothers and sisters in the Caribbean. What did the Lord say about Benjamin? What's the trait that Benjamin have?
He shall get the spoils.
That too, but there's something else that Benjamin, like, it stands out. That is one of them. You're not lying there when it says shall gather the spoil. He shall be ravenous. But there's one that stands out. You understand? Now, culture, you understand? And that's, remember what it says in Deuteronomy? Where it says that the Lord, something, get up one where it talks about it's going to be in the shoulder. I think it's Deuteronomy 33. Right? We tell you, give it the characteristic of Benjamin. You understand? And that's why, these preachers be taking advantage of black people on the island like that. Because we always thinking about the Lord. We always trying to look to serve the Lord. You understand? Like, you giving your preacher all the money, and when you really need it in time of need, he's sending you to the government. When he's the government, supposed to be the government, to look after you. Right. He's sending you to the government or to other resources to go get money. When you've been investing all your money in church, investing your money through tithes, through donation, and you can't get no help from the preacher.
Right.
No, the preacher, he at the front of the line when it's time to get money. And he have all your money in the bank.
God.
All the money in the bank. And that's what, this is what the politician trying to tell them. The politician trying to wake the people up. But remind, like, that's one of the things with Benjamin, like, we saw, for lack of better terms, religious. Real religious. Come on.
If I may, sir, you know what I mean? I would know politicians, they are not known to be the most, what you call it, most honest people.
Yeah.
And from you see a politician if you come out and, you know what I mean, protest against the church for, you know what I mean, trying to get resources that people need in a time of disaster. They must know, say them are go too far. Like, him almost fed up. Like, he must say, no, man, we don't have no own funds. We want to the money where we collect from the people.
Yeah.
We have our own coffers. Why we don't want to come depend on the people and coffers now further?
Yeah.
You understand?
Because if the thing is, if they use their own money, it won't be paid back. The members are not going to pay back. But if they go and borrow NHT money or some bank or somewhere else money, There's very members who are struggling to put on their own roof. We're going to have to maintain that loan.
Right. Yeah.
But I am glad I am old enough to know how financially strong the churches are. So yeah. I'm wondering if it's a case where those, because all of the church out here report to some other church abroad. I'm wondering if it's a case where them fuck off the money off my church,
More than likely.
Then cream it off.
Yeah, more than likely. You mean like siphon it? Like, yes, it's the same thing to do with the Catholic Church. Remember the Catholic Church. Where's the Catholic Church headquarters?
In Rome.
Yeah. So you think Rome going to send money back to you, to your island, when your people in some type of disaster? They're not doing that, sir.
It's a one-way street.
Yeah. You understand? That like this year is, I just saying, it's about, stealing the crumbs from the children of Israel. You understand? And you have men who are taking advantage. That's what the Bible say about your leaders. Like your leaders, they're the ones who's supposed to what? Protect you from men like this. You understand? But your leaders are the men who you have to get protected from. You understand? Like now you have, the truth. You brothers on the island, you have to now protect these people from these so-called church leaders. The politician trying, but they have such a effed up reputation that the people, it coming out his mouth, but it's not as heavy as it coming out the priests or the prophets of the Lord mouth. You ain't gonna take him serious because you think they can't go back and say that he ain't been pocketing money from somewhere. He ain't been lying about some things. Like he in politics long enough to come out and say what the IMF doing to the island. You understand? What these so-called foreign entities is doing to the island. Like he could come out and say it, but he won't say it. You understand? So he don't have it didn't have the same effect coming out his mouth. It don't. You understand? But give me that in Deuteronomy.
This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 33 and 12. And it says, and of Benjamin he said, the beloved of the Lord shall dwell. The beloved of the Lord.
Beloved of the Lord. Right. The Lord loved Benjamin. You understand? He saw something in Benjamin because why? Benjamin have a sense where he always trying to, serve the Lord. I can't really, put it any other way. You understand? Like we don't understand. It's almost as if, we will see rap music. I remember my growing up watching rap music, and then I was like, yo, why they singing about unaliving each other? That don't make sense. This, that, the other. You understand? There's when you look at Benjamin music, you don't really, back in them timing, you didn't hear them singing about unaliving. You hear them talking about what? Coming together. You understand? You gotta be one, this, that, the other. Praise, Rastafarian, they would say Jah. All that, and then down to Sizzler, he was saying what? I have no white God. All with music, to Judah would have been all these other the other 12 tribes. Gospel music, Salaki. That's straight up gospel music. You understand? But you call it reggae, you call it conscious music, You're a different genre. But to them, once you start singing about the Lord, it's gospel music. You understand? And that's Benjamin. But read on.
And the Lord, Salakia, the beloved of the Lord shall dwell in safety by him. And the Lord shall cover him all the day long. And he shall dwell between his shoulders.
And he shall what?
dwell between his shoulders.
Who's going to dwell between his shoulders?
The Most High shall dwell between the shoulders of Benjamin.
Yes, meaning that's how we grow. Your grandmother, you hear your grandmother. There's always what? You do something for it, bless your child, bless you, Lord bless you.
Yeah.
You understand? Like, like your tanty, you call them, I don't know if you all call them tanty or your auntie. You understand what I'm saying? Like you do something for them or they see you. You know what I mean? Always, it's always some kind of spiritual or religious thing to say. Down to, I remember, I don't know if you remember what's his name? This reggae artist. I don't say reggae so much, but dancehall. Massacre. Massacre had a song where he had his grandmother, basically praying on the shit for him. You understand? Like basically doing that. Like, who does that? Benjamin will do that. Because we always have the Lord between we shoulder and we mind. You understand? So now knowing that these men taking advantage of that shit. You understand? Taking advantage of it. Like you think you're going to church. You talk to a family member or somebody you just meet, about going about your daily routine. Who been in the church for 70 plus years, they genuinely trying to do what? Serve the Lord in there. But then you meet men like this who run in your church who just doing what? Just stealing the money,
Right.
Just banking the money. Spending it on what they want to spend it on. The church break down. You understand? People houses, mash up. You understand? Done. Roof off. And you're not telling me the church ain't putting together to try and help build back some homes? Come on.
If I may, sir, it made the point there in another video I may have queue up. I don't know if you want to play it at 2 minutes.
Now play it. Yeah, man, play it. Because after you play this also too, if we have time, you send my video about Islam on the rise in Jamaica. So once you run from this, now you're running into something else. You understand? Because you done been. It's almost like a jilted lover, or like like you've been with a with a a whore, and now you run to something else thinking that this woman's special when she's just a whore, none the same. You understand? Come on.
There's no logic in this. Let us look for the people who are suffering out there. That's what the government ought to do.
Can I hear it?
Instead of the churches with cash when they're already flooded with cash.
Member of Parliament for St. Catherine Southwestern, Errol Warmington.
There's no logic in this. Let us look for the people who are suffering out there. That's what the government ought to be doing. Instead of propping up the churches with cash when they're already flooded with cash.
Member of Parliament for St. Catherine Southwestern, Errol Warmington, rejecting the government's decision to allocate $75 million to support churches and faith-based institutions in rebuilding efforts following Hurricane Melissa. The announcement, which was made by Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness last week, has left Mr. Warmington with a number of questions. Among them, how was the decision made and what will the funds be used for?
The last report is that the churches have billions of dollars in their account.
Boy.
I believe at this time the church ought to step up to the plate and assist the membership that were affected. Those members were affected. This is a time when they should be assisting their members from this vast amount of cash they have, because the members are being given. So it's time for them to give back.
However, Dr. Holness emphasized the vital role of churches in society, noting their collaboration with the government and other agencies in the hurricane relief effort. He added that some congregations are having their services under tents, and so special provisions were made. Mr. Warmington stressed he's not against the church, but insists the funds could be better used to support families still displaced.
Those who have denomination of churches close together, combine these membership into one building. Because most of these churches, anyone on Sunday don't have anybody in them.
It might make some every point in a cap.
So the best they can do is to combine the membership at one location and having all these structures all over the place.
You all know how to find this man, man.
The churches. There's a
So like you sir, if I may.
Yeah.
I must the most time make him talk like this, you know, because he might go against him own a prime minister, you know, him serve under, you know. You understand?
Yeah,
and
man.
Own a prime minister. Go ahead.
This is in nature, you know. It's in nature, this man. So I'm still.
God. You know
That's
what I mean? And he must say all of the things.
The prime minister take him from out the ministry and put him right under him wing at the office of the prime minister. So he works from the office of the prime minister. Yeah, the prime minister try to rein him in.
Yeah.
But, but the thing is, the Benjamin in him can be still.
Yeah.
It was like this. He was the only member of parliament who also be in work agency, and nobody can him drive with him window down. But I think you can see one for running in parliament about you want this, you want that, and threaten him and everything. But what he's saying about the amount of money that the church has, I have always been hearing this, and I've seen it over the years. Like I tell you with the casino thing, the church, whenever they speak, if the government say them go and do something and they think it's unsavory, what they would normally do is threaten these institutes, the banks, that they are going to pull their money. So I'm wondering if their organizations abroad just pull the money and cut them power and say, you want to go and do what the government want to do. It could be that they pull it little by little over the years, so that now they don't have this mountain of cash sitting down on.
You might be right. You might be onto something about that one. You might be onto something. Because if they have, yeah, because if they have that amount of power for real, you understand, then something going on behind, you know what I mean, closed doors that you're not seeing, but you know that, you know what I mean, from what he's saying, they have a ton of money.
Yeah.
That is, you know what I mean, that ain't, you know what I mean, and that's, you know what I mean, and that's churches, even, you know what I mean, I believe in the Caribbean. Churches have money, you understand? They have it, but the money that they have is not for the congregation. You know what I mean? That's why go back to Jeremiah now. Go back to Jeremiah and tell them where you're at right now in Jeremiah.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 7 and verse 3. And it says, "Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, amend your ways and your doings, and I will cause you to dwell in this place."
Right. Now read on.
Verse 4. "Trust ye not in lying words."
What he said?
Trust ye not in lying words.
Lying words. And here was the lying words is saying what? You there?
So like you, sir, I thought to freeze a while ago. Go ahead, sir.
No. I say saying what? Listen to what the Bible is fitting to say here.
Read on.
Continue reading.
Yeah.
God. "Trust ye not in lying words, saying, the temple of the Lord. The temple of the Lord."
Right. Saying what?
The temple of the Lord.
Right. You're saying that that's the temple of the Lord, them churches. The Bible telling you, don't trust in them lying words. Because if that was the temple of the Lord, it would have been dealt with differently. It would have been dealt with people putting God-chosen people first.
Right.
You understand? That church should have been the last thing to be built. Like, people don't invest the time. You understand? You know how them men be working on them islands, man. America done take your value, your currency down. And you're gonna work hard, earn money, and give it to this preacher. And in hard times, he is going to hold on to it for himself. You understand? That's why Jeremiah, the book of Jeremiah, is saying what? Don't trust in lying words. That is not the temple of the Lord. God is not in them churches. You understand? The politician ain't gonna come out and tell you that. Because he a politician. Because he tell you that, what's gonna happen to him?
Lose him job, lose him seat.
Yeah, he gonna lose him seat.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
He gonna lose him seat. Because the people will not want him, you know, in charge of anything. You understand? So we could tell you the truth. Because we are nothing to lose. You understand? Right. Nothing to lose. So we telling you that church is just brick and mortar. You understand? That ain't no different than a house. You understand? Them churches been up. Ask them churches if it ever housed homeless people. It ever took care of homeless people. No. I know a brother who took a brother in and took care of him. You understand? Did more than your Christian pastor. You understand? Right about that one? You did more than them Christian pastor. You understand? Took him in as long as you could take him in. But they ain't doing that, Ark. They're not. Right. They're not. They're just taking money and getting rich and rich and then flossing. And you see them in a nice car. You see them in a nice house. You understand? With them preachers and them, you realize them preachers and them ain't crying for the house. Them preachers should have been, ain't the ones saying, yo, my roof blew off my house. Why? Because he taking your money to fix his house. And then going to get your money to help fix your house, he going to take it from the government. You understand the play?
You
understand? Right? Read on.
The temple of the Lord are these.
Right? Skip down to verse 7.
Verse 7. Then will I cause you to dwell in this place, in the land that I gave to your fathers, forever and ever.
Read on.
Verse 8. Behold, ye trust in lying words that cannot profit.
That cannot profit.
Right.
So now somebody coming and telling you, yo, your preacher lying. He been lying. Now you have evidence that he been lying to you. It ain't gonna profit you. Read.
Verse 9. Will ye steal, murder, slap you? Will ye steal, murder, and commit adultery, and swear falsely, and burn incense unto Baal?
Read on.
After other gods whom ye know not?
You understand? When you go into that Christian church, you're going after another god, like we did back then with Baal. You understand? Like, that is not the Lord's house. And I know money's supposed to be going to them churches. You understand? The money's supposed to be going to help them people on the island.
Right.
You understand? The poor people. Like that's the laws in the Bible was to make sure that the poor never been taken advantage of, that we never forget the poor. You understand? You're a rich man. You're supposed to, it's your duty to take care of the poor. It was your duty. You understand? And these preachers, boy, that money is to do what? What do you think them preachers trying to do with that money? And if they could have do it, they are trying to buy their way into heaven.
Right.
That's all. They're telling you had to die to go to heaven, but they had to buy their way into heaven. Understand that for a minute. While you living in hell, they buying their way into their heaven. Because ain't no preacher come out as yet and say nothing about what he said. No preacher. Where the what's his name with the raspy voice?
Muta?
No, not Muta. The preacher, big preacher, one of the biggest preacher in Jamaica. But I think he out here too. But he have the factions down there on the island of show. You only know what I'm talking about, boy?
You see the one where not where they can't poke.
Say that one more time.
You see the one where I said they tell him members say they can't poke. And you see the one that
what's his name?
DJ the name again where they challenge him. And he said, usher him out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget his name, man. But he ain't come out and say nothing.
Right.
All them big preachers on the island ain't come up and say nothing. Why? Because what he's saying is the truth. And he cutting them. Otherwise he would come and say, would have been a whole line of them saying what? We don't have no money. We poor. But they have it. And they ain't crying. You understand? All right. Any more on that? I think that might be it there for that.
Got on.
No, hold on. Read verse 11.
Got on. Verse 11.
Read verse 10. Read verse 10.
Verse 10. And come and stand before me in this house, which is called by my name, and say, we are delivered to do all this abomination.
Right? And what's all these Christmas?
Right.
You understand? What's some other things you all do? You all do celebrate Thanksgiving in the church?
La, sir.
What's some things they celebrate in the Christian church? What about Valentine's Day? They celebrate that in the church?
Yeah.
Mother's Day. They can't forget that Mother's Day.
Got.
You understand? All that to the Lord is a abomination. That Valentine's Day dinner.
Yes. Valentine's dinner at the church.
Yeah. All that is abomination. You understand? And the Lord, He is not pleased with that. Read on and you'll see.
Right. Got. Verse 11. Is this house, which is called by my name, become a den of robbers in your eyes?
You understand? Like it became a den of robbers. You understand? These men are stealing from the poor, you understand, and getting rich. These men are stealing from the Lord and getting rich. The man said they have billions of dollars in the bank.
Yeah.
Billions. You see them churches, why they don't what? Come together. Join together. You understand? Why they don't do it? They ain't doing it. Why? Because they want to share the money. You understand? Because it done become a what? A den of robbers. He's asking the question. Right? Read on.
Gone. Behold, even I have seen it, saith the Lord.
The Lord see it. The Lord is seeing how you churches behave. You understand? Seeing that your preacher stealing all the money and taking it to himself. You know what I mean? And up to now, I can't hear, you know what I mean, unless it's been is going on the island, but ain't no media coverage of it where people is getting angry with these churches for not helping. You understand? Getting angry with these pastors and them. Ain't nobody crying out. This man alone crying out? Nah. There are more people crying out. You know what I mean? You all should do a go to the streets and ask them and say, yo, what you all think about churches? Should the churches be helping build back these houses?
Right.
Should they be doing it?
Gone.
Should they be helping poor people? Should they be helping people in the congregation that don't give their life earnings? So who knows if some of these people die and then do what? Leave and the inheritance for these churches are. You know some people doing that. You understand? Some people signing their life insurance away.
That's still happening.
You understand?
Gone.
Like you think the churches don't have land? They have land. They have wealth. You understand?
That's what Mohammed bring out said. Acres of land them sitting on.
You see?
Inheritance plus what they have, especially the society church.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I think the Catholics out there, they have corporate what do you call it, assets. Yeah. Some of the properties that they own is in city centers. Not church on it, you know. Corporate buildings on it.
Yeah. They own prime property.
That's
you understand?
Prime property.
Yeah. K-Adwan, give me the New Testament where it talk about it the temple, you being the temple of the Lord.
Gone.
You understand? You the temple of the Lord, man. These churches, you know what I mean? They don't do a number on us so much, man.
Gone. This is 1 Corinthians 6 and verse 19, and it says, what? Know ye not that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit,
right,
which is in you?
Right? You are the temple of the Lord. So guess what? That was just a building with bricks. Meant nothing. You mean something because you are the temple of the Lord. You understand? The Lord would rather you take care of poor people than you go try to put that big, gigantic building back up and poor people suffer. You understand? Because you are the temple of the Lord, Israel. You understand? You black people on the island, Negroes on the island, you the temple. Don't ever forget that. What them Christian pastors doing, they're just doing it for you. You know what I mean? They know this is psychological warfare. You know, once you see a big, nice structure in your mind, God lives in there. God is not in there. We just read it. God looks at that place as a den of robbers. And what did Christ do? Christ had to what? Run people out the what? The temple, because they were doing what? They were stealing or robbing people.
Come.
Just like your Christian pastors today. They are robbing people, man. And the brother just said it. He had 2 videos where he's saying that these churches have money. You understand? Money. But they're not helping the black community. Right. They're not. And for sure they ain't helping poor people. And the politician before, remember he said what? If you don't invest, if you didn't did he say invest? I forget the word he used. If you didn't put in, then you can't expect to get anything out.
Right.
So who could afford to put in? Who can't afford to put in?
Right.
You understand? Like the shit is so backwards, where poor people now, it's almost as if it's a sin to be poor.
Right.
Like it's a sin that you can't afford to put in to this department, so that in time of needs, when you do need it, you can get some money back. Like what the hell is that? She telling me because I'm poor, I have to die if a hurricane come through? Nah. Them preachers said I've been having people up in the house sheltering people, but they ain't doing that.
God.
All right, read on.
God. Which ye have of God, and ye are not your own.
All right. And ye are not your own. The Lord don't care about them bricks and and stone.
Right.
Care about what you doing, what you putting in your body. Are you eating pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster? You should stop, because you are the temple of the Lord. Are you smoking weed? You understand? You smoking cigarettes? You understand? Are you doing drugs? But you destroying the temple of the Lord. You understand? You better stop. Right. Any more on that?
Last, sir, that was it for 19.
For 19? I don't know if you want to touch on I don't know if you have time to touch on Luke, or you wanna
Luke?
You had Luke 16, or you had a video with the Muslims and them.
Let me see if I find the video with the Muslims. Give me a second.
Yeah.
Listen, Luke
16. Is it right here? This is another one. You know what I mean? Brothers and sisters, go read Luke. You understand? Luke 16. Right? It tells you about these preachers and them. And they are hired for what? For money. For money. And they will lie to you for what? Money. Because they're trying to enjoy life. They're trying to live in heaven while you live in hell. You understand? You ain't got to die to go to hell. You're living it right now. You understand? When you die according to the Bible, your soul go back to the Lord. And you're being sent right back here for judgment in a new body, depending on how you behave on the earth when he was here. Depending on how you serve the Lord. You understand? And now we're looking at this here. Boy, oh boy.
So like you, sir, and if I may, you know what I mean? Them basically capitalize off of the situation with the hurricane and, you know what I mean, the lack of, what I call it now, the lack of help. Yeah, the lack of funds of the people and the lack of the Christian church, you know what I mean, was helping everybody. See, so they're going to use that now to say, boy, see it, your church fail. You know what I mean? Your church fail you. Maybe you worship, you know what I mean, in the church when they should have been worshiping in the mosque. Give Muslim a try. And like I said, you know, the people them don't know, say, you know what I mean, are one and the same. The Christian church and the Muslim religion are the same. It's lucky.
Yeah. And that is definitely it. Like remember in Genesis is such a heavy story with Adam and Eve with that covering. You understand? If you could get them aprons, pull them up with the aprons when they went and sewed fig leaf and put it together. You understand? Like we are trying to hide from the Lord. We run into the Christian church. We run into these mosques. You understand? To try and hide from the Lord. We don't want to accept who we are. Like you gonna be a Muslim. So now guess what? The Arabs, you're gonna serve the Arabs now? Or you're tired serving the white man God. So now you're gonna serve the Arab God. Like what sense does that make? Christianity works for the so-called oppressor. Islam works for the Arabs. These two religions has never worked for black people. Never. You understand? Go ahead and read it if you have it.
Gone. This is the book of Genesis chapter 3 and 7, and it says, and the eyes of them both were open, and they knew that they were naked.
Right, they knew they were naked, meaning they knew their culture. You understand? What they had was different than the other people. You understand? Was different. Read on.
Gone. And they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons.
Right, they sewed fig leaves together, meaning what? And the Christian church is so diabolical. They're going to tell you, they're going to use this and say what? Adam and Eve was naked. And this is where they went and put clothes on. All these things were metaphors. These are not, you know what I mean? This ain't, you know what I mean, like literal, like the Christian church would have you think. You understand? They went and did what? Cover themselves with what? With the philosophy of these other nations. When you go into Christianity, you're covering yourself with the philosophy of your oppressor. When you go into Islam, you're covering yourself with the philosophy of Islam. You understand? And you becoming a slave to Islam, just like we became a slave for the so-called oppressor. Like how in the hell you going to tell me we come out of slavery and you the same religion your slave master is, and you're saying you're free? How are you going to be free and you the same religion your master was, the oppressor is? You understand? We don't even know the history of the Arabs. The Arabs also took on slaves, also two of us. And might have been even worse than the so-called oppressor. They had a hand in your slavery. They were the ones who built the ships. And now you're going to take on their God? Read on.
Gone. Verse 8. And they heard the voice of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God.
And Adam and his wife hid themselves, just like we hiding right now from the Lord. We hiding from the Lord in these religions, man. You understand? We are hiding, literally hiding from the Lord. It's, you know what I mean? It's to the point where you go into Christianity just so that you won't be looked at as being what? Jamaican. A little ghetto youth. You understand? You go join Islam so that you don't be looked at as just this little black boy, this little ghetto youth. You understand? You want to be looked at like a what? Like you are oppressor or like you're Arab. You hate your skin. You understand? When you join these religions, man, it's nigh unto that. All right, any more?
Gone. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God amongst the trees of the garden.
Amongst the what?
Amongst the trees of the garden.
Right, and that's the other nations. right? That's in Ezekiel, where it tells you about the cedar tree, this tree. Like we hide ourselves among these other nations, hiding from the Lord. You understand? So now you're going to have to what? In Islam, you're going to have to do what? You're going to have to love the Arabs. And then guess what? You're going to dislike your brother who are Christian. And then the Christian going to have to love who? The so-called oppressor. And hate the brother who is Islam. You understand? And I'm saying this, and don't let me, your column leave out Rastafarianism. There are Trini Rastas in it too. You understand? Because now the Rastas now have you doing what? Hiding amongst who? So-called Africans. You understand? Ain't no place on the earth but in the RCPK where we serve a black God, where this is for black Hispanics and Native Indians only. You understand? We serve a God that looks like us. We have a king that looks just like us. You understand? But when you go into these other nations, these other religions, you are not serving a God that looks like you. You understand? You are not loving someone who looks like you. When all these other nations done did it and become what? Great nations. When you try to love everybody, and guess what? We became weak. You understand? When we together, we're going to be strong. But when we spread out, what did Christ say? A nation divided what? Cannot stand. It cannot. You understand? You into Christianity, you into Rastafarianism, you into Islam. How the hell, what bringing us together? Because one say what? You can't look at skin color.
Right.
The next one telling you, you're worshiping what? Idols, when he worshiping idol too. So now you move from bowing down to a cross to now you're going to slap your head on a rock. That's where you're trading. You understand? And that was a what? A curse in the Bible. Give me that in Deuteronomy. You have anything else to bring out?
Salaki, I repeat that again, sir. Which where you say what?
The one in Deuteronomy where it speaks about the wood and stone. It talks about, you understand? Like that's a curse to be in Christianity. To be in Islam is a curse. You understand? And the Lord does not want us in there. We have laws, you understand, to follow. You understand, in this Bible. We have that. The Lord give us this Bible. The Lord give us our own culture. We're going to have to embrace it and stop trying to embrace the oppressor's culture. You understand? Stop trying to embrace his belief, his God. Stop. Let's embrace our own God, man. Our own people. Come on.
Gone. This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 64. And it says, and the Lord shall scatter thee among all people.
The Lord say, you know what? Scatter us among all people.
Right.
You understand? Why? This is a punishment from the Lord. Read on.
Gone. From the one end of the earth, even unto the other.
Mm-hmm.
And there thou shalt serve other gods.
And there thou shalt what?
Serve other gods.
Other gods. Now listen to this clearly, Israel. Read.
Which neither thou nor thy fathers have known.
Neither your fathers in the Bible, meaning the brothers in the Bible, the brothers who came out of Egypt, Moses and them. You understand? All the prophets in the Bible, they're your forefathers, and they say neither what?
neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
Even what?
Wood and stone.
Even wood and stone. Wood representing what? That wooden cross. And stone representing what? That rock in Mecca. Like these are the two major religions on the earth. And your forefathers never worshipped them. But the Lord said he was going to scatter us amongst these different nations, from one end onto the earth onto the other. Any more to it?
Last, sir.
Right? And he said he's going to serve other gods. Well, we're going to have to stop that. The Lord said we're going to have to amend our ways. You understand? We're going to have to change our ways. We can't fall into the trap of Christianity, and we can't fall into the trap of Islam. We can't fall into the trap of Rastafarianism. We can't fall into this trap. We're going to have to stop hiding from God. You can't hide from him, man. He's seen you. You understand? Anything else you all want to bring out?
So okay, not by my head, sir. Officer Abadawan, you have nothing you want to bring out?
Anything else? Yeah, Abadawan.
Nah, all right.
You're good?
Come.
Can, sir.
You know what I mean? Brothers and sisters, you all better find yourself in this truth, man. Find yourself so that we don't have to be lost, you know what I mean, inside these other religions and being played. You understand? Because you're going to see the same thing happening with these so-called Muslims. You understand? Like we're going to see if the Arabs and them, if the Saudi Arabians and them with all the oil money, Qatar and them with all the oil money, because they dress just like them men in Qatar, right? And Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
Let's see if they're going to send, you know what I mean, help.
Right.
Or they're going to have you on some corner selling a trinket of oil. You understand? Or they'll have you on the corner selling bean pie to try and make ends meet.
Salakia, sir.
Come on.
Are making it okay to sell drugs like them do in the United States.
Yep. Now let's see. You understand? We gotta wake up, man. You know what I mean?
And if I may, sir, Salakia,
come
sir,
on.
If I may, you know what I mean? And our people make informed decisions, because you gotta have different school of thoughts that come round trying to capitalize off of your trauma. See, you have the Muslims come around, but you don't know much about the Muslims. You understand? We here in Jamaica, we don't support pedophiles. You understand? Yeah. And we know that the Muslims, in the Muslim religion, it is okay to marry an underage girl, you know what I mean, to the to the age of 8 and 7 year old. You understand?
Yeah.
That is Islam. See?
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? I mean, we there have to educate the people them still in case this decides boy to you know what I mean? Root here in Jamaica, sir. We there, me and Officer Abadawan, we there have to educate the people still, but
that's right.
Our people, we need to make informed decision, because you know what I mean, not everything glitter is gold. That's why we implore you, get inside the ISUPK under commanding General Yana. You understand? You understand? This is the home of the truth. See?
That's right. That's right. All right, warriors. I mean, you want to end it there?
We can close with one scripture here.
Go ahead.
Ezekiel 33 and 6. And it says, but
he get it for you now. Right,
that one. This is the book of Ezekiel chapter 33 and 6. But if the watchman see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned, if the sword come and take any person from among them, he is taken away, he is taken away in his iniquity, but his, but his blood will I require at the watchman's hand.
That's right.
Right. So, I mean, our government have stopped being our watchman for a couple of years now, quite a while. When the Soviet Union was around, they used to do a better job because bipolar world. But with the fall of the Soviet Union, everybody become yes man. So that's why Warmington looks so controversial, But really and truly, that was how the politicians used to be. They used to ask questions and them challenge. Not anymore.
Yeah.
Right? So Warmington just look like him is a troublemaker, but he is actually trying to be a watchman. Right? Because he see what is coming. Who you think going to pay back them loan when the church them take them loan? The same people. They better give the money to the people and then fix them house.
Yep. Damn right. Damn right.
Same church member them have to pay back the money.
That's right.
But in the same way, like how the most I saw what the people was doing and destroy the place that they were doing, worshiping their idols and things. The same thing that is happening.
Yeah.
Yep. You think that is happening, Jamaica has been known as the country with the most church per square mile.
Wow.
We're the Guinness World for that. The most church per square mile. So with half the island damaged, just they can count the amount, they can just imagine the amount of church. So all people then going to fix back them church and fix back their own house.
Yeah.
And that's so. Right.
No, go ahead. No, finish.
It's not like the church was helping them before the hurricane. They made them not know how much money they know that the church is rich.
Yeah.
So like if I made, you know what I mean? Like what you said, people them never know say church have so much money. Billions of dollars in a bank account. You know what I mean? Every Sunday and every Saturday, you know what I mean, is a different campaign where the church need this and the church need that. You understand? People have to fork out more money. But all this time them have millions and billions of dollars in them account. You understand? And now hurricane come, them want your housing trust money to help build back them church. Them should have that seal up. Slack.
No, you're right.
Yeah, and it's so crazy.
Yeah.
Lifting their skirt.
Yep. It's exposing them. That's right. I mean, and it's so crazy too that you say Jamaica has the most church per square mile, because it's almost as if like it's similar to Detroit. I think it's Detroit was that city that I went into. And brother, there was a road, there's a street, a long street, and it was church on either side of it. Church on either side of it. And this was a poor city. You understand? Now, this city became poor. At one time, it was, the city that you would want to be in to, work. It was an industrialized city where they used to build them cars. It was known for building cars. You understand? And then it became poor. They shut down all the car factory, basically. And they became poor overnight, brother. And now they have all these churches, almost as if, they know that black people cling on to this hope that one day, sweet Jesus, one day, you understand, to comfort us. And these so-called black leaders been playing on that. You know, and it's time that black people wake up and recognize the game they're playing. It's no different than a politician. You all hate the police because the police, you could literally see the police, doing something that they're supposed to be doing. Like I think a police on the island he get charged for murder. He unalive his girlfriend
Right.
recently. You understand? Which they letting you know. You had to be better than these police. You got to be better than your preacher, better than them politicians. You know what I mean? But you got to wake up and come into the truth and learn how to serve the Lord. You understand? And with that, go ahead.
Somebody have a question on the TikTok. Them say, who is God and what color is sweet Jesus? So look.
Right. God according to the Bible, right? Remember, Christ said, if you've seen me, you've seen the Father. You understand? And give me it in I think it's in which one is that? Is it Daniel 10? 10 and 9. You understand? Like remember, and give me it in Exodus. Where is it? Exodus 15 and I think it's 15 and 2. Like he wants to know who God is. I'm gonna tell you who God is. The problem is, are you going to listen? That's the problem. Are you going to listen? Are you going to hear? You're going to understand. You understand? The white man and
Exodus.
Yeah, Exodus either 20 and 2 or 15 and 2 or 15 and 3. Where he say he's a God of war.
God of a gun.
You understand? Like know that about God first. So you know God ain't mommy. God ain't that sweet Jesus you're talking about. You understand? Jesus works for God. Come on.
I think he's trying to be sarcastic because you said the sweet Jesus part, he might be sarcastic. So he might reply to what you said. You know what I mean?
Oh, so he ain't trying to learn. He's trying to be one of them hard-headed Negroes.
I'm trying to be a hetero.
Yeah. But we gonna get it nonetheless though. Give me what saying Daniel.
This is the book of Daniel chapter 10 and verse 5, and it says, Then I lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with the fine gold of Uphaz.
Yep.
Verse 6, his body also was like the beryl, and his face as the appearance of lightning, and his eyes as lamps of fire, and his arms and his feet like in color to polished brass.
Color to what?
Polished brass.
That's the man we serve. That's the God we serve.
God.
Just like me and you. We serve the God of the Bible, if that is a question. You understand? Yeah. And the God of the Bible is a black man. And give me Exodus 15, if that's it. 15 and 3.
God. This is the book of Exodus chapter 15 and 3. The Lord is a man of war.
The what?
The Lord is a man of war.
He's a man of war.
Right.
You understand? He's a man. And he's a black man.
That's right.
A war. If that was a question. All right? And with that, you know what I mean? I don't know if you want to, you know what I mean, get them the outro.
Yeah,
let them know where to come. You know what I mean?
God. So, you know what I mean? To order again for another good show, sir. You know what I mean? To order for coming to episode of that one.
Yeah, man.
Everybody watching, this is the Breakdown Podcast where we break down the strongholds holding back the children of Israel here in Jamaica, the Caribbean, North, Central, and South America. You understand? Make sure you get inside these classes in the ISUPK Jamaica. We keep classes, you know what I mean, Sunday, 3 p.m., Wednesday, 7 p.m. Get inside these classes. Call the number. The number is at the top of all our pages. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, man. Subscribe to every ISUPK page and channel. And with that, shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. Yabba Shem Shalom.
Thumb.
Yeah. One West. I'm sorry, me need a break. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We work hard in a life, hustle every day and all in a night. Man a hunt for the goal and a dig it in a road and a live no life. I'm sorry, me need a break. I'm sorry. Right now me a seek time for myself and